Okay, this is one I haven't never had out of all the videos I've been making on currency, but this is the £1 Bank of England. This has been around since 1797. They ceased operations on this banknote in 1984, and it's got Queen Elizabeth II on this design, which was the date of February 9, 1978. In the reverse, I can remember going in physics, it's there Isaac Newton. Okay. So the £1 note was introduced in the Bank of England in 1797, following gold shortages caused by the French Revolutionary Wars. The earliest notes were handwritten and were issued as needed to individuals. These notes were written on one side only and included the name of the payee, the date, and the signature. So like this one, I don't have an exact year. I don't know what year this banknote is. It could be anywhere within the 80s or older. But the design date was in what again? In 78. Included the name, the date, and the signature issued by the cashier. The date and the signature of the issue of the cashier. Between 1797 and 1821, the lack of bulletin meant that banks would not exchange banknotes for gold. But after the end of the Napoleonic Wars and the shortage was evaluated, such as the notes could exchange for an equivalent amount of gold when present at the bank. £1 notes stopped to be used in 1821 and replaced by gold souvenirs. So like most time in England, when they quit making these certain amount of notes, you can no longer spin them. They're no longer legal tender either. Like during the World War I, the British government wanted to maintain stocks of gold, and so banks were ordered against the stop exchange of all denominations of banknotes for gold. Gold souvenirs were replaced by £1 notes issued by the Treasury. These notes were nicknamed Johns because of the prominent signature of Sir John Bradbury, permanent Secretary of the Treasury, displayed on the notes. Britain returned to the gold standard in 1925, although the Bank of England was only obligated to exchange notes for gold in multiples of 400 troy ounces. The good delivery bar or more responsible for the printing of £1 notes was transferred by the Bank of England in 1928, and the ability to redeem banknotes for gold stopped in 1931 when Britain stopped using the gold standards. I got a lot to read and a lot to talk about. The Bank of England's first post-World War I pounds notes were two-sided green notes which were printed not handwritten. The name of the payee was replaced by the declaration, "I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £1." The declaration remains on Bank of England banknotes to this day. This signature of the issuing cashier was replaced by the printed signature of the chief cashier of America of England in 1939, following the outbreak of the Second World War. UK ambassador to the Greece, Michael Parliament, was notified about secret Nazi plans to forge British paper money. And in 1940, £1 notes were issued in the new blue-orange color scheme to detect counterfeiters. Although the design remained the same, at the same time, a metal thread running through the paper was introduced as a security feature. After the war, £1 notes were issued in their origins green color. Earliest post-World War II notes did not have the metallic thread security feature, but those issued for the September 1948 onward did. A new design for the pound was introduced in 1960. The old notes stopped to be legal tender in 1962. These new Series C notes were slightly narrower and were the first £1 notes to feature a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the front. The reverse design incorporated a logo of the Bank of England. Series C notes were replaced by the Series D notes from 1978 onward. These slightly smaller notes featured an earlier new design with Queen Elizabeth II, and on the front, the scientist master of the Royal Mint, Isaac Newton, on the back. The design was updated in 1981 with brighter background colors. Following a constant with retailers and other groups, it was announced on July 1981 the £1 note would be replaced by £1 coin. Inflation had collapsed the note's average circulation lifespan to 9 months, and to vending industry preferred coins to banknotes. The new nickel brass coin was introduced in April 21st, 1983, and the £1 notes stopped to be legal tender in March 11th, 1988. Bank of England £1 notes are still occasionally found in Scotland. Alongside the €1 notes Scottish Bank, the Bank of England will exchange €1 notes for their face value prematurely. And for the bonus round, I don't think I'm going to keep it though, but it was found in with my other coins, circulating coins. Mistaken for a quarter is actually a Canadian commemorative quarter, I think, of Queen Elizabeth II from 52 to 2022. This year in particular, what is a 1992. This is probably the only year for them, and it's made out of nickel, and its currency is $1. So the obverse head is Queen Elizabeth here. The second, 64 years old. She was 64 years at the time. Right here it is. Yeah, that would be quite right. She was born in 27. She was 64 years at the time. If y'all didn't know, like over the years when they made these, they gave her a portrait when she was young, and the portraits changed as she got old. It shows the aging of her too at the time she was living. Wearing a royal diamond necklace and earring face right. In the reverse, a design representing the province of Manitoba, the southwest British and Lower Country Garry part of the surrounding wall is surrounded with the face value of the belligerent legal Manbobia. So this is a province of Canada, established in 1870, located in central Canada and bordering Ontario. So this land features lakes, rivers, forests, and priorities supporting activities like hiking, canoeing, and fishing. The province capital, largely city Winnipeg, known for its cultural situations, including the Canadian Museum for Human Rights and Royal Winnipeg Village. And let's see. Proverbs 35-6 cautions us not to add to God's word, even every word of the God, as follows: He is a shield for those who take refuge in him. Do not add to his word. He will rebuke you and prove you a liar. And that's all I got.